Okay, Thaco, quick rundown. If you're a first level fighter in an AD&D second edition game and you're using Thaco in that game, so the first level fighter has a 20 Thaco starting off. Okay, so he's punching. He's going to fight a goblin. The goblin has an 8 armor class. How do we figure that out? 8 off of 20, because it's a 20 Thaco, leaves what? 12? 12 or more on the D20 to hit that goblin. So you're taking the armor and minusing it off the Thaco. So let's look at the Thaco, 20 Thaco. Well, that's pretty good. How would that improve? It wouldn't improve by going up, it improves by getting lower. So if you were to have you were a first level fighter and you have a +1 sword, well, with your fist you still got the 20 Thaco. But with the sword, with a +1 to attack, with that sword you have a 19 Thaco, because 19 is better than 20. Well, take the armor class of the goblin. 8 off of 19 leaves 11. 11 or more. Easier to hit on 11 than it is on 12. Right? That's lower Thaco. Lower, better. So now you know how the bonus to attack would apply to the Thaco. Lower. Lower Thaco is better. And basically that's all you're doing. Armor class off Thaco, that number or above to hit. When you're fighting enemies in the game, it's usually numerous same enemies or similar enemies with the same armor class. So once you know what you're doing on that first enemy, you have gotten the math done for every other enemy. It becomes automatic, just automatic, which speeds up gameplay. That depends on approach, which we'll get to. Now let's get to one alternative part about the armor class. What if it says like a -2 armor class for a dragon? Well, when you see that number, that's an exceptional armor class. What do you do with that number? Instead of taking it off Thaco, you add it. So if it says -2, you're going to add that to your Thaco. So say you have a fighter with like a 14 Thaco fighting the dragon with a -2 armor class. Well, you add the 2 onto the 14, that's 16, 16 or more on the D20 to hit the fucking dragon. There you go. Now you got the more complicated part of armor class and Thaco right there with that minus number. That's it. That's me. I find it easier to explain Thaco like this than to tell you that there's fucking charts or say something about hitting armor class 0. All that means nothing. Just give you a fucking hands down gameplay, examples. Now, there's some DMs out there that can make Thaco really bad, right? And I can understand if people have seen or heard their explanation. There's some terrible explanations for Thaco because it just takes it a moment to realize, like, you're trying to figure out what it is. I explained it to you because what I just explained is what you wanted to know. After you heard my explanation of Thaco, you're all going, oh, okay, I get it. That's what you're looking to do when you hear about the chart. Like, chart, okay, I guess I could read a chart. But wait, how would you read the chart? See, when people start arguing things, they forget there's a lot of little things that they know. Tiny pieces of information that allows them to just know things about the chart. Know how the chart would work. So when they say there's a chart, it's like it still takes a minute. You've got to give examples where people just get it straight up. I don't bother with charts or nothing. Bang. Again, you get the DMs that might not give out the armor class, and it takes players moments to figure it out. They got to start spreading the number, verbally stating the numbers to the DM. And that can slow down combat. Now, my one beef with gameplay like that, I think it makes Thaco look terrible because, first off, when you run Thaco like that, D20 wins. Right? D20 is faster, smoother, and better than that. Well, at least the gameplay you're seeing there. Time is getting eaten up because armor class is not communicated to the player. I'll hear some weird excuses like, well, I don't know, it just doesn't take away from the illusion. I give the information right away to the players. Right away. I want them to know their math. I want their Thacos marked down so they know what their Thaco is for the sword or the fist. And I want them to do the math and then know, okay, after that goblin, every other goblin's the same thing. It's not hard to get people on board with that. And when you do it that way, it speeds up the combat, and you find out Thaco is just as quick, just as smooth as the D20 system. It's not an inch behind, it's right beside it. Meaning, when you're running Thaco the way I suggest, D20 is not an evolution of that. It's not furthering the system. It's not, oh, we brought something new that works better. Doesn't work better when I run Thaco. Straightforward, quick, fast. You still got to do math with D20. There's still things you got to do with D20. And when you eat up all the little pieces of math and time stoppage, compared to the way I run Thaco, I see myself run Thaco faster than guys run D20. Now, I sympathize with people that might get screwed up on the explanation at first and they don't understand it. Because they don't understand it, they don't like it. I get all that. I do. I sympathize with the entire scheme of things. I'm not against you, but I got to be real with you guys. Here's why some people might be giving you a poke. An unfair poke, but a poke. Because really, what is Thaco? It's grade 1 math. Think about it. 8 armor class off the goblin, or from the goblin, and you got a 20 Thaco with the fighter. 8, 20, take away 8, 12 or more to hit. The math is really easy. You're in a spread of the number 20 and lower, and then you got a number from 1 to 10 for the armor class. The math is grade 1 math. It is extremely simple. It just can seem a little difficult to, just get your head into it. But once you get your head into it, you realize it's smooth. It's quick gameplay. Thaco's not bad. This is why the people that understand it, unlike yourself, this is why they enjoy it. This is why they take a poke at you. This is why they get upset when they're nerds. They hear you say this, and they've actually played the game where Thaco works fine, and you're going, it sucks, and they know for sure that you're wrong. Right? I'm sorry you do lose the argument. I got to be real with you. Right? If you say Thaco's worse than D20, you're just wrong. And the people that have experience with Thaco will just know you're wrong. That's why they'll get all pissy. They're other nerds like you. You made your point, well, they got to come and stomp on you and make their point. Right? I get it. Thaco has a bad rap. Always has had a bad rap. Always. That has to do with people wanting to say their thing is better than your thing. You know, all the common shit that leads to all that. It's all that is. There's nothing wrong with Thaco. Right? If that's the reason you're not giving old school and a chance because you think Thaco is bad, you have no idea what you're talking about. Thaco is actually really good and fun. It doesn't feel like old. It feels good. And it works. You just feel like, oh, cool, it works. Yeah. Like, it works like your D20. Now, of course, you can meet some DMs out there. I won't lie to you. Old school DMs that will be like, what's the number one? And they'll slow combat down. And to me, that's them trying to do something at the expense of gameplay. And that, to me, is no. Don't ever do it at the expense of gameplay. Gameplay should always come first before the realistic thing. Right? Like, gameplay is the one necessary area. We're here playing a game. So, if combat faster and smoother is better combat, right? Well, then any combat, any DM that takes away from that, like does an activity that starts to strip away from that smoothness and quickness, right away I tell them, okay, what's your reasons for holding that back? Not good enough. It won't ruin the illusion your players are fine. Give them the fucking number. Fucking move the combat faster. Make it better. Stop throwing your shit out there at the expense of gameplay. But that's just us nerds having these arguments, and you hear a little bit of my nerd rage coming out in the process. I just don't want to hate anyone. I sympathize with people that don't like Thaco. I get it. But if you heard my explanation, now you get it. It's one of those things where you could tell me you still don't like it, but now I fucked your head because it was that simple to explain it to you that you can't get the seed out of your mind now. If you're this far in the video, gotcha. Gotcha. Especially if you didn't know what Thaco was before. Gotcha. So now you can understand why there's some people out there giving some people a poke, and calling them stupid and making fun of them when they say Thaco is hard. Because you heard. You know Thaco is not hard. Even if you've never used it. You know the explanation is simple, straightforward, and it makes sense to you. It's just not hard. Right? It's not hard math. It's grade 1 math. Grade 1. Think about it. You're only minusing a number or adding a number on. I mean, there's no division, no nothing. There's no complicated math in the process. This is what you would do as a grade 1 student in elementary school. That's it. Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. Love you. For now. Take care.